Okay, so it's not really EB Games that I hate. It's more of the employees that know absolutely shit all about anything to do with video games. And that's the problem, is that a lot of people walk into EB Games and they're actually trying to find real help, and all they get is a condescending remark about some bullshit. Anyway, so I went to EB Games in hopes of finding a used PSP because my PSP is bricked. It doesn't work. It's no fun anymore. And I know eBay really should have been my first choice to find a 1.5 firmware PSP, but I sometimes don't think, and I sometimes do stupid things like taking a trip to the mall to try and find a 1.5 PSP. And EB Games was my first stop, which is also my first mistake. So I went in there and asked the clerk, hey, do you have any used PSPs, preferably with 1.5 firmware? And he just kind of looked up at me and shouted, no, we don't have any of that. You can't find a new PSP with 1.5 firmware. That's illegal. Sony doesn't make that anymore. I'm like, okay, I get that. That's why I asked for a used one. Then he told me again, no, 1.5 firmware is illegal. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's not illegal. It's official Sony firmware. It's just old and has a lot of security holes. And then he's like, and on top of that, EB Games doesn't carry anything illegal like that. We don't carry modded system, anything that can be hacked, nothing like that. EB Games is all non-illegal crap. And I'm like, okay, do you have an old version of Vice City, Liberty City Stories? And he's like, yeah, over there. And I'm like, oh, that's funny because you just told me you didn't carry anything that could be hacked. And for your information, Vice City, Liberty City Stories has a big security flaw in it, which you can exploit the PSP to downgrade. That's funny. Then I also thought about it some more, and hey, asshole, pretty much everything in your store can be hacked. But you just fucking told me that you don't carry anything that could be potentially hacked in your store. So what's all this fucking shit on your walls? What are you selling here? Nothing? I mean, if it's a program or a game, then essentially there's someone out there that can fucking hack it. Like, he's essentially telling me that 1.5 firmware is illegal, and if you're caught with it, you're gonna go to jail for life. Like, fuck murder. Fuck selling drugs. That 1.5 shit, that's badass. And then it also hit me that, okay, the 1.5 firmware isn't illegal, you asshole. Maybe the shit I'll be doing on it is illegal, but the firmware is definitely not illegal. And then I pretty much told this fuckwad everything that was on my mind and how I thought he was a retard. So essentially, he banned me from the store, and I'm not allowed to go to EB Games again. Yeah, great. I don't really care. It's not like I was gonna go back to the store after that ordeal. I mean, I'm probably just gonna go to eBay, order shit online. Now, I do have a credit card, and it's not like I need to go to EB Games, so that guy can seriously go fuck himself. And essentially, if you're watching this video and you do work at EB Games, I apologize, but only under the condition that you're not a condescending prickbag like him. And if you happen to be said condescending prickbag from EB Games, then you can go fuck yourself. And to any of you that feel like replying to this entry about why did you even go to EB Games in the first place looking for a 1.5 firmware, I don't know. I know that was a really stupid thing to do. I know essentially this video is my fault for going to the wrong place for the wrong thing. But, you know, I actually felt like maybe I'd be lucky that day. But aside from that, yeah, it's kind of my fault for going to EB Games in the first place because they are assholes.